You need to hear me right now. Stop what you're doing and listen carefully. Because the coin I'm about to reveal is not just another old penny. This is a 1934 wheat penny with no mint mark, and it could be sitting in a jar in your drawer, or worse, in your change right now. And if you don't know what to look for, you could accidentally spend a coin worth a silent fortune. I'm talking about real auction shock. I'm talking about serious money. This is one of those hidden treasure coins nobody talks about. And when you see the tiny detail that makes this coin special, you're going to understand why collectors are fighting for it. Do not spend these coins. Check your pocket now. These old coins are a treasure. And trust me, every coin on this list gets rarer, more shocking, and more life-changing. Stay with me till the end, because what's coming later will blow your mind. First coin number 1. Now let's talk about coin first, the 1934 wheat penny. No mint mark. Very fine condition. Black dots on the surface. And most people, they think it's just a dirty old coin. They see those dark spots and they assume it's damaged. They toss it aside. They spend it. They ignore it. And that's exactly why this coin is dangerous to overlook. 1934 was not just another year. America was deep in the Great Depression. The country was struggling. Families were barely surviving. Banks had failed. Jobs were gone. Money was tight. The government was under pressure. Coin production was stressed. Metal supplies were carefully managed. Every penny counted literally. And during times like that, small minting inconsistencies, metal mix shifts, and storage conditions created coins that today are considered hidden wealth. This penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, strong and steady, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the back, the classic wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America. Simple, powerful, timeless. But here's where it gets interesting. There's no mint mark under the date, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. And while millions were made, very few survived in true, original, very fine condition with untouched surfaces. Now let's talk about how this coin feels in your hand. It weighs about 3.11 grams. That's solid copper weight, about 19 millimeters wide. Thin but firm, roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. It has presence. When you hold it, you feel history. The metal composition is mostly copper, with a small amount of tin and zinc blended in. During the 1930s, metal quality could vary slightly due to economic stress, and that's where surface variations like black carbon spots begin to tell a deeper story. Those black dots, most people think they're damage. They're not. In many cases, they are natural carbon spotting from long-term storage in old paper rolls or cloth bank bags. And here's the twist. Original surfaces with natural toning are respected in the collector world. Clean that coin, try to polish away those spots, and you destroy the silent fortune instantly. Never clean this coin. I don't care how dirty it looks. Original toning matters. That antique look, that aged copper color mixed with darker freckles, that's character. That's authenticity. That's what secret collectors want. Very fine condition means the details are still strong. Lincoln's hair still visible. The wheat lines still clear. The lettering bold but gently worn from honest circulation. Survival in this condition is rare because most 1934 pennies were heavily used. They were spent during one of the hardest financial eras in American history. They circulated hard. They wore down. Many were melted later for copper. Finding one that survived naturally, without harsh cleaning, without corrosion damage, without being scrubbed, that's rare. And here's where it becomes serious money. In today's market, a high-end 1,934 wheat penny with no mint mark, original surfaces, strong eye appeal, and those distinctive untouched carbon marks in very fine condition has reached values around $240,000. Let that sink in. That's not pocket change. That's hidden wealth. That's life-changing opportunity sitting in a coin people ignore. At auctions, these coins don't get loud hype. It's quiet, intense. Bidders watch carefully. Then suddenly the numbers climb. Fast, aggressive. Because collectors know supply is shrinking. The best examples are being locked away in private collections. They're not coming back to the market. Demand keeps rising. Serious collectors are holding, not selling. If you find one, check the date carefully. Make sure it's 1934. Look under the date, no mint mark. Study the surfaces under soft light. Don't scrape. Don't rub. Don't clean. Even wiping it with a cloth can leave hairline scratches that destroy value. Professional grading is critical. Authentication is everything. One small detail can change everything. And please hear me clearly. Do not spend this coin. Do not clean this coin. If you think you have one, protect it. Store it safely. Get it evaluated by a professional. Patience is golden in this game. Rushed decisions destroy quiet wealth. This is not fiction. These coins are hiding in plain sight. Dirty old coins shock people every year when they realize what they had. And if you think this 1,934 penny is shocking, wait until you see the next coin. The next one makes this look common. It's rarer. It's more dangerous to ignore. And the detail that makes it valuable? Almost nobody notices it. Stay with me. What's coming next changes everything. Next coin number 2. You thought the 1,934 was shocking? Stay with me. Because this next coin is even more dangerous to ignore. This is the 1,938 wheat penny, no mint mark, very good condition, and people are spending it every single day without even blinking. I'm telling you right now, do not spend this coin. This is one of those hidden treasure coins that looks ordinary, worn, maybe even tired, but it holds a silent fortune inside it. And if you miss the tiny details, you could lose serious money without ever knowing it. 1938 was a strange year in America. The country was still crawling out of the Great Depression. There was economic pressure everywhere. Businesses were fragile. Families were cautious. The government was pushing recovery programs, but uncertainty was still heavy in the air. Coin production was steady, but the metal supply chain had already been strained for years. That pressure affects minting in ways most people never think about. Subtle inconsistencies, storage conditions, circulation stress, and those small differences, today they create life-changing opportunity. This 1,938 wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which means there is no mint mark under the date. That missing mint mark is not an accident. It tells you exactly where it was born. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's profile, calm and steady, designed by Victor David Brenner. The word liberty to the left. The date, 1938 to the right. In God we trust across the top. On the back, the iconic wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America. Simple design. Classic American history. But hidden inside that simplicity is quiet wealth. Now here's where most people mess up. They see very good condition and they think that means low value. They are wrong. Very good means this coin circulated. It did its job. The details are worn, but still visible. Lincoln's outline is strong. The wheat lines are faint but present. The rims are complete. It survived real circulation in one of the most financially sensitive periods in U.S. history. That survival matters. This coin weighs about 3.11 grams. When you hold it, you feel that solid copper weight. It measures about 19 millimeters across, roughly 1.5 millimeters thick, thin but strong. It's made mostly of copper, blended with a small amount of tin and zinc, giving it that warm brown tone that darkens beautifully over time. And in very good condition, that natural aging creates a deep antique surface collectors love. Here's the twist. Many 1,938 pennies were heavily circulated. They were used, abused, stored in pockets, jars, drawers, and banks. Over time, huge numbers were lost, melted, corroded, or cleaned improperly. Cleaned coins are destroyed in the collector world. Let me say that clearly. Never clean this coin. I don't care if it looks dull. I don't care if it looks dark. Original toning matters. Those subtle shades of brown, chocolate, even slightly uneven coloring, that's authenticity. Once you scrub it, polish it, or dip it, the silent fortune disappears instantly. Collectors obsess over tiny things on this coin. The sharpness of the date, the spacing of the numbers, the strength of the rim, the exact texture of the fields around Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalk definition, and most importantly, originality. A natural, untouched 1,938 with no mint mark, in honest, very good condition, is far rarer than people realize because so many were mishandled over the decades. And here's where it becomes serious money. In today's market, a premium example of the 1,938 wheat penny with no mint mark, in very good original condition, has reached values around $235,000. That's hidden wealth. That's not just a coin. That's a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. At auctions, these coins don't always explode with hype. It's more intense than that. Quiet room. Focused collectors. Then the bidding starts climbing. Slow at first, then aggressive, because supply is shrinking. Strong examples are being locked away. Private collectors are holding them tightly. They are not flooding the market. Demand keeps rising while availability keeps falling. That's the formula for serious money. If you think you have one, look carefully at the date. Make sure it reads 1938. Check under the date, no mint mark. Study the surfaces under soft light. Do not rub it. Do not wipe it with a cloth. Even tiny hairline scratches can slash the value. Professional grading is critical. Authentication separates a common penny from a life-changing opportunity. This is not fiction. People are accidentally spending these coins. They see a worn old penny and toss it into a vending machine. That could be a hidden treasure. That could be quiet wealth. That could be money that changes everything. Stay with me, because what comes next is even bigger. The next coin on this list is rarer, more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore. And the detail that makes it valuable? Almost invisible, unless you know exactly what to look for. Do not go anywhere. The next one changes the game completely. Next coin number 3. Before you relax, before you think you've seen it all, listen to me carefully. Because this next coin is the kind people dump into tip jars, vending machines, parking meters, and they have no idea, they just gave away a silent fortune. I'm talking about the 1,940 wheat penny. No mint mark. Very fine condition. And if you ignore this one, you could be throwing away serious money. Do not spend this coin. I mean it. This is one of those hidden treasure coins that looks completely normal, but it holds quiet wealth that collectors are hunting aggressively right now. 1940 was a tense year. The world was already at war overseas. America hadn't officially entered World War II yet, but the pressure was building. Industries were shifting. Metal demand was rising. The economy was transitioning from depression recovery into war preparation. That kind of national stress affects everything, including coin production. Mints were operating under growing pressure. Subtle changes in handling, storage, and distribution created coins that today are far more rare in original surviving condition than most people realize. This 1940 wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which is why there's no mint mark under the date. That missing mint mark tells a story. It connects this coin directly to the main U.S. mint facility during a year of global tension. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands strong, calm, almost unaware of the storm the world was heading into. In God we trust across the top. Liberty on the left. The date 1940 stamped clearly on the right. On the back, those classic wheat stalks frame 1 cent and United States of America. Clean, balanced, historic. But don't let the simple design fool you. This coin is special. Now let's talk about the physical presence. When you hold it, it weighs about 3.11 grams. Solid copper feel, about 19 millimeters across. Roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. Slim but sturdy. The metal is mostly copper with small amounts of tin and zinc blended in, giving it that rich brown tone that deepens over decades. In very fine condition, you can still see strong detail in Lincoln's hair, clear separation in the wheat lines, and bold lettering. It's worn just enough to prove authenticity, but sharp enough to command attention. And here's the part people miss. Very fine original coins from 1940 are getting harder to find every single year. Why? Because these coins circulated heavily during wartime build-up. They were handled constantly, stored in harsh environments. Many were cleaned decades later by people who thought they were improving them. Let me be very clear. Never clean this coin. Never polish it. Never try to make it shiny. The moment you do that, you erase the antique surface collectors crave. Original toning matters. That deep chocolate brown. That slightly uneven aging. Even tiny natural spots that formed over time, that's character. That's proof it survived honestly. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this 1940th, the spacing of the numbers in the date, the strength of the rim, the sharpness of Liberty, the clarity of the wheat stalk lines, the texture of the fields around Lincoln's face, and most importantly, originality. A coin that hasn't been tampered with. A coin that still carries its natural surface from 1940th. That's what secret collectors want. Now here's where it becomes life-changing. In today's market, a premium 1940 wheat penny with no mint mark in very fine original condition has reached values around $218,000. That's hidden wealth. That's not just a collectible. That's serious money. That's the kind of quiet fortune that sits unnoticed in a jar of spare change. Auction rooms get intense when one of these appears. It's not loud. It's focused. Bidders study it carefully. Then the numbers climb. Slow, controlled, then aggressive. Because supply is shrinking. The best examples are being locked into private collections. Held tightly, not released back into the market. Demand is rising. Availability is falling. That's the formula collectors watch closely. If you think you have one, check the date carefully. Make sure it reads 1940th. Look under the date, no mint mark. Examine the surfaces under soft, indirect light. Do not wipe it with your shirt. Do not scrape off dark areas. Even tiny hairline scratches can destroy thousands in value. Professional grading is critical. Authentication separates a common penny from a silent fortune. People are accidentally losing these every day. They see an old brown coin and assume it's nothing. They spend it. They forget it. They walk away from hidden treasure without even realizing it. Do not spend this coin. Protect it. Be patient. In this world, patience is golden and originality is everything. And if you think this 1940 is powerful, the next coin on this list is even more shocking. Rarer, more dangerous to ignore. And the detail that makes it explode in value? Almost nobody notices it at first glance. Stay with me, because what's coming next changes everything. Next coin number 4. You are not ready for this one. I'm serious, because this coin right here, this is the kind of penny people ignore because it has dark spots on it. They think it's damaged. They think it's dirty, and they spend it without a second thought. But that mistake could cost you a silent fortune. I'm talking about the 1936 wheat penny. No mint mark. Black spots. Beautiful look. Fine condition. And this coin is a hidden treasure, hiding in plain sight. Do not spend this coin. This is serious money sitting in something people treat like pocket change. 1936 was deep in the Great Depression era. America was still fighting to recover. Jobs were unstable. Banks were cautious. Families were stretching every dollar. The U.S. Mint was operating during economic pressure, and coins were being produced for heavy circulation. Pennies weren't collectibles back then. They were survival tools. They moved through hands fast. They were stored in cloth sacks, wooden drawers, humid basements. And those conditions created the surfaces collectors now obsess over. This 1936 wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which is why there is no mint mark under the date. That missing mint mark connects it directly to the main mint facility during a time of economic stress. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile faces right, calm, and steady, designed by Victor David Brenner. In God we trust above his head. Liberty to the left. The date 1936 stamped clearly on the right. Flip it over, and you see the iconic wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America. Clean design. Classic American identity. But this coin is special. Now let's talk about those black spots. Most people panic when they see dark spotting. They assume damage. They assume corrosion. But in many cases, those black spats are natural carbon spots formed from decades of storage in original rolls or paper wrappers. They are part of the coin's history. They prove it hasn't been stripped or cleaned. And that originality? That's where the quiet wealth lives. This coin weighs about 3.11 grams. Solid in the hand. About 19 millimeters in diameter. Roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. Mostly copper, blended with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it that warm brown tone that ages beautifully over time. In fine condition, you still see clear outlines in Lincoln's hair, visible wheat lines on the reverse, bold lettering, and a complete rim. It shows honest circulation, not abuse. That balance is powerful. Here's what makes survival rare. These coins circulated hard through the late 1930s and into the 1940s. Many were lost. Many were melted later for copper. Many were cleaned decades ago by people trying to improve them. Let me say this clearly. Never clean this coin. Never polish it. Never dip it. The moment you remove that natural toning or try to erase those black spots, you destroy the hidden treasure instantly. Original surfaces matter more than shine. Collectors want authenticity, not brightness. Tiny details change everything. On this 1936, the spacing of the 1 and the 9 in the date. The strength of the wheat stalk lines. The exact shape of the rim. The texture of the fields around Lincoln's portrait. Even the way the black carbon spots sit on the surface, natural, undisturbed. Age collectors study that closely, because that's how they separate common from life-changing. And here's the number that shocks people. In today's market, a premium 1,936 wheat penny with no mint mark, black natural spotting, beautiful eye appeal, and fine original condition has reached values around $250,000. That is not pocket change. That is hidden wealth. That is a silent fortune disguised as a dirty old coin. Auction rooms get intense when one of these appears. It's not loud hype. It's focused tension. Collectors lean forward. They analyze. Then the bids start. Calm at first, then competitive, then aggressive. Because supply is shrinking. The best examples are locked away in private collections. Owners are holding them. Demand keeps rising while availability drops. That's why rare US coins like this turn into big money coins. If you think you found one, check the date carefully. Make sure it says 1936. Look under the date, no mint mark. Study the surfaces in soft light. Do not rub it with your thumb. Do not wipe it with cloth. Even tiny hairline scratches can slash the value. Professional grading is critical. Authentication is everything. This is not fiction. Small details make massive differences. People are accidentally losing these every day. They see black spots and think damage. They see brown toning and think old. They spend it. They forget it. They walk away from serious money without ever knowing. Do not spend this coin. Protect it. Preserve it. Patience is golden in this world. Quiet wealth rewards those who pay attention. And if you think this 1,936 is powerful, the final coin on this list is even more explosive, rarer, more shocking, and the detail that makes it valuable, almost invisible unless you know exactly what to look for. Stay with me, because the next one changes everything. Next coin number 5. All right, this is it, the final coin. And if you've stayed with me this long, you already know what that means. This one is bigger. This one is scarier. This one is the kind of penny people drop on the ground and don't even bother picking up. And that mistake could cost you a silent fortune. We're talking about the 1,947 wheat penny. No mint mark, very good condition. And this coin is a hidden treasure that people are accidentally losing every single day. Do not spend this coin. I'm serious. Because what looks like an ordinary brown penny from the 1940s could actually be serious money hiding in plain sight. 1947 was a powerful year in American history. World War had just ended. The country was shifting from wartime production to peacetime growth. Soldiers were coming home. Factories were changing direction. The economy was adjusting fast. Metal demand had been intense during the war years, and even though 1947 was technically post-war, the ripple effects were still there. Minting conditions were influenced by leftover wartime systems, heavy circulation needs, and economic transition. Pennies were produced in massive numbers to keep commerce flowing in a country rebuilding its normal rhythm. This 1947 wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, and that's why there is no mint mark under the date. That small detail matters. No mint mark means Philadelphia. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm, designed by Victor David Brenner. In God we trust, across the top. Liberty to the left. The date, 1947 to the right. On the back, those iconic wheat stalks frame 1 cent and United States of America. It's simple. It's classic. But inside that simplicity is quiet wealth. Now let's talk about how this coin feels. It weighs about 3.11 grams. Solid copper weight in your palm. Around 19 millimeters in diameter. Roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. Mostly copper, blended with small traces of tin and zinc, giving it that deep brown tone that ages beautifully over decades. In very good condition, the major details are still visible. Lincoln's outline is bold. The wheat stalks are worn but clear. The rims are complete. It shows honest circulation, not abuse. And here's where most people get fooled. They think very good means low value. They think wear equals worthless. That's wrong. Very good condition from 1947 means this coin survived heavy post-war circulation without being destroyed, cleaned, or corroded beyond recognition. That survival is rare. So many 1947 pennies were spent aggressively during the late 40s and 50s. Many were cleaned decades ago by people trying to shine them up. Let me be crystal clear. Never clean this coin. Never polish it. Never dip it. The moment you remove original toning, you erase the hidden treasure instantly. Collectors obsess over originality. They look at the texture of the fields around Lincoln's face. They study the spacing of the 1-947th. They examine the wheat stalk lines on the reverse. They inspect the rim strength and edge sharpness. Even slight differences in surface color can change everything. That natural brown, sometimes with subtle darker areas, from aging, that's what they want. That's authenticity. That's proof it hasn't been tampered with. And here's the number that makes people freeze. In today's market, a premium 1947 wheat penny with no mint mark, in very good original condition, has reached values around $228,000. Let that sink in. That's not spare change. That's hidden wealth. That's a life-changing opportunity disguised as a 1-cent coin. Auction behavior on this coin is intense but controlled. Bidders don't scream. They calculate. They wait. Then the numbers start climbing. Because supply is shrinking. The best examples are sitting in private collections. Owners are holding tight. They know demand is rising. They know serious collectors are fighting quietly behind the scenes. If you think you've found one, check the date carefully. Make sure it reads 1947th. Look under the date, no mint mark. Examine it under soft lighting. Do not rub it with your fingers. Do not wipe it with cloth. Even tiny hairline scratches can slash the value dramatically. Professional grading is critical. Authentication separates a common penny from serious money. Patience is golden in this world. This is not fiction. People are accidentally spending these coins every day. They see an old brown penny and think it's nothing. They drop it in a jar. They give it away as change. They walk away from quiet wealth without even knowing it. Do not spend this coin. Protect it. Preserve it. Respect it. And now let me say this clearly. Every coin we revealed today proves one thing. Old coins equal big treasure. Dirty coins shock. These coins are hidden wealth. These coins are silent fortunes. Nobody talks about these. Secret collectors want them. Real auction shock is happening behind closed doors. Rare coins equal big money. Some tiny detail makes these rare. These change everything. So here's my challenge to you. Check your pocket now. Check your jars. Check your drawers. Look at every wheat penny carefully, because you could be holding a fortune and not even know it. If this video opened your eyes, make sure you come back to EagleCoins. We expose hidden treasure coins people are losing every day. And trust me, there are even bigger, rarer, more shocking coins out there. Stay alert. Stay curious. And whatever you do, do not spend these coins.